A Russian court has sentenced members of the controversial punk band Pussy Riot to 2 years in jail following their protest stunt in Russia's main cathedral. The three women were found guilty of hooliganism motivated by religious hatred. Meanwhile, police have detained roughly 60 people outside the court who had been rallying both in support and against the group. It's exactly where RT's Peter Oliver is right now. Joining us live from the scene. Peter, good to see you. So after a long deliberation, a guilty verdict comes down, 2 years behind bars. You've been outside the court all day. How did the news go down?
Well, the news was received with, in some cases, acceptance, in some cases, disbelief, and in some cases, celebration at the decision from inside the courtroom. In delivering the guilty verdict, the judge said that the women had committed a gross violation of public order that was clearly expressed a hatred based on religious affiliation. Now, the judge also said that the choice of venue for the demonstration of the performance of this punk rock prayer that called on the Virgin Mary to rid Russia of Vladimir Putin, the fact that they chose Christ the Saviour Cathedral, the most important cathedral in Russia, was done in order to increase the effect that the insult would have. In backing up the decision that their actions were based upon religious hatred, the judge cited hard drives and computers and files that were found on those, in which they apparently show the three women, amongst others, auditioning, rehearsing and preparing for the demonstration inside the cathedral. The evidence gleaned from those hard drives backed up the prosecution's claim that the women were motivated by a hatred of the Orthodox Church. Now, in terms of what's been going on outside the courtroom here, we've seen huge groups of people gathered throughout the day, both in support of Pussy Riot and opposed to Pussy Riot. And heated debate has continued to flare up throughout the day. In fact, you can hear people right now, just over to my right, the chants of Free Pussy Riot. We saw several police officers coming out of the crowd, wiping their eyes and grasping at bottles of water, seemingly like they'd been sprayed with some form of pepper spray or mace. Also, one woman climbed a fence just behind that police wagon where they were putting people that had been detained, and cheering again Free Pussy Riot, put on one of the group's trademark garish balaclavas, a brightly coloured pink balaclava, and shouting for the group to be free. But they aren't going to be freed. They've been sentenced to 2 years in jail. But although things are calming down a little bit here outside the court, there is still debate raging between the people who are here, both those who say that the women apologised to the Orthodox Church and said that they weren't intending to cause any religious offence, and those who say that, well, we just don't believe those apologies that were issued by the women. In fact, that was heard in the court. In the judge's summing up, she said that the victims of this crime, the people who were in the church at the time that the demonstration took place, had said that they didn't believe the apologies that were received by the women were genuine, that they hadn't felt that they were sincere in what they were saying. So as it stands, 2 years for the three members of the group Pussy Riot after they were found guilty of hooliganism, agitated by religious hatred.
Yeah, indeed, Peter, as you were saying, the witnesses who were in the cathedral during the time of the protest act said that Pussy Riot was being offensive, aggressive and unwilling to stop. So RT's Peter Oliver, you've been outside the courthouse all day. Many thanks to you. We'll speak to you soon.
No problem.